Today's Morpher Network video is sponsored by Ranger Stop and Pop, which is now August the 27th to the 29th, 2021 in Atlanta, Georgia. And Ranger Stop Convention, which is now November 11th to the 14th, 2021 in Orlando, Florida. Go to rangerstop.com for more info.
What's he doing?
Phenomenal! The mantis DNA worked!
Rodriguez, how are you doing, sir?
Hello, I am doing amazing. So happy to be here. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Awesome.
Glad to hear.
Woo! Let's do this. I'm excited.
Before we start, so how have you been doing this past few days or year? We're gonna ask.
I've been honestly amazing. Life is good. Just been in LA. I just did my first Power Rangers signing with Jazz and Rory in Florida this past weekend, and that was super, super fun. I loved meeting all the fans, everyone. It really, especially the kids, like watching the kids and just how happy it makes them to see all of us. Like, it just warms my heart, and it's honestly like the biggest reason to do that. And it's my first time doing it. I never experienced that, and usually I just get to, see what fans say through comments or like my DMs, but I've never been able to like actually interact with fans in person. So getting to experience that now really was just such a beautiful experience. And because of that, I can't wait to do more and just continue meeting everyone.
So hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special welcome to a very special interview of the Morpher Network. We have here the Gold Beast Morpher Ranger himself, Abraham Rodriguez. Hi, Abe.
Woo! Hello, everyone.
Yes, and thank you again so much for being part of this special podcast or interview, we call. So let's get the interview started. So, Abe, how you get started with acting?
I started acting when I was about 6 years old. I started doing church plays, and I did that for several years. And then when I was about 13, I started doing this like outside of school musical theater program. So I did that for a few years, and then when I turned 15, I started taking, that was later on. let me get back on my timeline. When I was 15, I started working locally in Las Vegas, which is where I'm from and where my family lives. And I did a lot of like local like commercials and feature films and just a bunch of different projects there. And then when I was 17, I started taking film and television acting classes in Las Vegas. And then when I was about 17 and a half, I got an agent in LA and I started auditioning in LA. That was after I had graduated high school, because I actually did online school for my junior and senior year. I did them together so that I could graduate a year early, so I could have finished school a year early so that I could have the legal 18 status to be able to work as an adult in LA. So that was like my whole goal with all of that. Then I got an agent and I started auditioning in LA. And I was going back and forth for about 6 months. I was doing that with every audition. I would drive to LA, do the audition, drive back. Sometimes I'd be on my way back to Vegas and I'd get a text from my agent that I got an audition the next day. So I'd either have to turn around and stay the night in Vegas if I wasn't too far away, or sometimes I'd literally be like 30 minutes from getting home. So I would get home, go to sleep, wake up, do it all over again. And yeah, it was definitely a lot. I did that for 6 months. And then when I turned 18, I moved to LA, and about 2 or 3 months into living in LA, I got my first audition for Power Rangers. I don't know if that's another question that you have, but I guess I'll just go into the audition experience.
Right, that's our second question. What is the audition?
I assume.
What and how was the audition process for Power Rangers?
So I got my first audition, like I said, I think 2 or 3 months into living in LA. And I was actually originally auditioning for the comedic role. And I went all the way to producers for the comedic role. I auditioned 3 times. And I went to producers. And in the producer session, our executive producer, Chip Lynn, had me read the Ranger sides. So it was like all of a sudden, I was not expecting that at all. And he gave me the sides. I got like 5 minutes to quickly run out, read them for the first time ever. And thankfully, like, I have a really good memory. Like, I can memorize my scripts and sides and everything really quick and easy. And I remember, I don't know how long those were. I think it might have been 2 scenes. Yeah, they were 2 scenes. And I quickly read through them, almost kind of memorized them, went back in, I did it. And then they said that they were gonna put me in a martial arts class with Mike Chat the next morning at 6 a.m. So now, like, I just went in thinking I was having this producer session for the comedic role, and then all of a sudden I'm reading for a Ranger, and then all of a sudden I'm getting put into this martial arts class at 6 a.m. the next day. So everything is just happening so fast, but it was super exciting, and I was so above and beyond just happy and thrilled and excited for everything to come. And I left there super, super excited. I had a great time with them. It was a really long session. And then I was just on the phone with my agent trying to figure everything out with Mike Chat and the class the next day. And yeah, woke up, went to my chats. Super, super awesome experience. I went in there not knowing that everybody else that was also auditioning for a Ranger was also in that class. So I'm taking this martial arts class with just everyone that's auditioning for Power Rangers. And it was super, super intimidating. And just looking around, like, I was definitely the youngest. I mean, I look 12, I'm not, but I've always just looked way young. So like, I knew that I like stood out in that way. And just everybody was older. They were a lot bigger. They were more like athletic. They just looked like Power Rangers, like the typical like Power Rangers that you would see on TV. So that alone was like super, super intimidating. And it was really, really easy to get discouraged because of that. But every time like I had those thoughts, I would just like stop myself and remind myself that, hey, like, I'm here in the same place that all these people are. Like, we're all on the same level. So like, you know, whatever casting saw in me, they saw in them. Like, we're all in the same place. So yeah, I tried to not let that, you know, whatever discourage me. And so I trained with Mike Chad. I had a private. I went to classes, I think like 2 times a week it was. And then I was training so much on my own, just at home. And just like every day going over my routine. And then one day I went to this lunch with my friend, and it was a lunch with like my friend's manager and my friend's manager. It was his friend's manager's assistant, and the assistant is friends with Davi Santos, who's the Gold Ranger in Dino Charge. And I met him at that lunch, and we were just talking, and then it got like in the conversation got brought up that like he was a Power Ranger, and then we were like, oh, like I'm auditioning for Power Rangers right now, and then he was like, no way, like blah 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 blah, and then I'm like, yeah. So we like followed each other on Instagram, we like kept in touch, and then we actually ended up meeting up one day so that he could help me with my audition routine, since he also is a martial artist, and of course he was on the show, so he helped me a lot with that. He helped me improve some things, change some things, and just really practice it and just get it really, really down. And then I think it was like from a month of the producer session, I had a month to my like test. Now I was testing for the role. And for the test, that was like a super long, really very extensive day. We were there for I think like 5 hours, just going in and out of the room, doing different things. Chip was really, really working me. He wanted me to like at one point just look into the camera and tell a story just speaking Spanish, all in Spanish. And then he's like, now tell me that exact same story, but in English, but with a Spanish accent. So now all of a sudden I'm doing this accent, and then he had me like leave the room, go into another room, and on my phone look up. I think the show is I Love Lucy, and like that character Ricardo, who has like a Spanish accent. He was like, study that character really quick, try to like imitate that type of accent, and then come back in and then do that accent. So I'm like going in and out, doing this research, looking up this video. It's super, super crazy, just in and out of the room, just doing all sorts of things. And that was like, there was like 3 final days, and that was like the second day. And then left there feeling super, super awesome. Every session honestly was super amazing, and I just left so like just happy and just fulfilled, and knew that I like gave it my all. And then after that one, I was on the phone with my agent, and then she told me, okay, they want you to go back tomorrow, the next day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, like let's do it. And then she's like, they want you to go out and get a gold t-shirt to take to the audition. Because originally everyone that was like all the males that were auditioning for a ranger all either wore a red shirt or a blue shirt. And I wore a blue shirt to that last audition. And so she told me, now go and get a gold one. So then that day, I'm like out. I went to multiple stores. Like a gold shirt is hard to find. Like it's not that easy. Like you can find a red or blue shirt like easy anywhere. So I'm like going to multiple different stores. I ended up at Target, and I'm like, there's this pile of gold t-shirts, and it's like an off like mustard yellow, which is fine, that works. And I'm like looking down the sizes, like no smalls, there's no smalls, like not one. And then I was like about to leave to try another store, and then something just told me like, no, like look on the inside of the shirt, like maybe the stickers on the outside are wrong. And then I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go and I'm like looking through each shirt, and at the bottom there just happens to be one small. And of course I get it, and it was just like so meant to be, like something was telling me to go back and look again, and sure enough, there was the small. And so I get the small, I leave, go to the next day, and that day was like the way big, like this was like the final day, like all of like the finalists, I guess you can say, were there. I think there was only like 16 people at this point. And that day, like everyone was also getting like hair and makeup done for the audition. Like it was like a really like serious, and it was my first time testing for a show. So this is all just so new to me and so exciting, and just such a huge, huge deal. I'm just so happy to have gotten to this point in the process. And so I go in with my blue shirt like I did the day before, and they call me into the room. I go into the room, and I'm like ready to do my martial arts routine again. Oh, and when I did my producer session for the comedic role, Chip asked me to learn a tornado kick. Like, he really emphasized that he wanted me to learn a tornado kick. So when I was training with Mike Chat, like, I was like, I need to get this tornado kick. Like, the executive producer asked me to learn the tornado kick. Like, I better learn this tornado kick. And I did the tornado kick in my whatever last audition. They were like super impressed, like super happy, like, yeah, like I did it, like I learned it. I'm like, yeah. And so then the next day when I went in, I was expecting to do that all over again. I was expecting to do my martial arts routine again, do the sides again and everything. And all they had me do was just slate into the camera, and that was it. And then I like walk out, and I was there for already like 5 hours. And then one of the casting assistants asked me to put on the gold shirt. And so now I'm like putting this gold shirt on, and then I go back into the room where we're all like in holding, and everyone else is, I mean, the girls are all wearing yellow, and then the guys are wearing blue and red. And I'm the only one wearing this gold t-shirt that, like, in the room casting told me in front of everyone to like put this gold t-shirt on. So I'm like, what does this mean? Like, this is so weird. And like everyone's looking at me, and I just didn't know what this meant. Like, I had no clue. And so then, yeah, we leave there. It was about a month from that day that I got a call from my agent and told me that I booked the job and to expect a call from Chip Lynn. And within like, I think 30 minutes to an hour, Chip called me and he was like, congratulations, you're the new Pink Ranger. And I was just so stunned that I was just speaking to the executive producer of Power Rangers. I didn't even like process what he had said. And then he's like, just kidding, you're the new Gold Ranger. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm just happy to be in the show. Like, I don't even care what I am. And so, yeah, and we talked for a bit, and just within that phone call, like, my whole life changed. Now I'm like hurrying because I have a month now from that day that I'm moving to New Zealand. So now I'm moving out of my apartment in Los Angeles, packing everything up, moving to Las Vegas to spend that last few weeks with my family. And then I moved to New Zealand and did the show, and here I am.
I cannot watch, I apologize, Ryan. I cannot watch Beast Morphers the same way again, because now every time Zoe messes up, all I could imagine you with a Cuban accent going, Zoe, you got some explaining to do.
Yeah, thank God they did not have me do a Spanish accent for my character.
So Dad, here, I also have something special to tell you, Abe. So we interviewed Mike, your sensei, Mike Chat, 3 years ago. He said that you were something special.
He said that?
Yes, he's like, keep in mind for Abe's character, because something special is going to happen. So I kind of knew something special.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Wait, you interviewed him after we got cast and like did the show? Or when did you say, 3 years ago?
Like around maybe 2019 or 18. I forgot. It was around, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it was around late 2019.
Yeah, like 2019. There, God,
that was the reason actually that I was saying all of that at the beginning. That it's so cool that I did end up getting the role, and that, like, to me, and just like I hope everyone watching knows that, like, I don't know, like, I defeated all of like the stereotypes. Like, I'm not super athletic. I've never done martial arts. Like, I'm very small. I look young. Like, I was up against all of these people that, like, a lot of people actually did martial arts. Like, they're a lot bigger, more muscular, like very athletic. And it, like I said, was so easy to be discouraged from all of that. But I still gave it my all. And I went in there and I didn't let any of that like get to my head or anything. And I ended up getting it. So yeah, it's just super, I don't know, even inspiring for me, like going into future roles when I think that like I'm not fit for this, like it's better if it's someone else. Like it just, I always think back to this situation and I'm like, wait, like that's what I thought with Power Rangers and I got it. So, you know, what's to stop me now? So yeah, I'm really, really just happy to be able to represent that, as well as Nate. Like, and that's what I love about my character. Like, he's, you know, the scientist, always behind the computer, never goes out, never does sports, and then all of a sudden becomes a ranger and defies all of those stereotypes. And he's just as strong, if not stronger, than all of the other Power Rangers, because he not only is a Power Ranger, but also has all of that scientific knowledge in creating the weapons and the Power Rangers themselves. So yeah, it's super, super cool to be able to play that and just be that character for kids and everyone watching the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, like me myself being a scientist, that's really amazing because like the thing about being about science is it's not about being the smartest or the strong, it's about being the most capable of adapting. And I love seeing your story of how you're adapting to all these circumstances. And heck, even Nate had to do a lot of adapting. Like, oh, now I'm part B spot, and this B spot's part human and whatnot.
Yeah, I'll say your character is actually one of the special characters of the season. I love your character a lot, even in season.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And I'm not being biased. You're actually my second most favorite Gold Ranger. I even told everyone here in the chat 4 weeks ago. This guy is my second Gold Ranger. Like, heck, I even got a toy of you. That's how much I love you.
Oh my God, amazing.
And for me, it especially feels like a really big honor that you're the first actual Ranger that I'm interviewing, because the very first Japanese Zord that I ever got was actually this one right here.
Oh, that's so cool.
I did answer it, but please elaborate more. What was it like playing your character Nate in Beast Morphers?
Wow, just looking at the whole show, because I get asked a lot too, like if you could pick another character to play, like who would it be? And honestly, I would choose Nate. Like I'm so happy with my character. I would never trade him for the world. Like I said, just being able to play that character and defy those stereotypes and show everyone that, the smart guy behind the computer with the glasses, that's the nerd, like can be just as strong and powerful as all the other Rangers and, the athletes. And I don't know, like he can do just as good of a job, if not better. So that was really special. And also it was so much fun just like building him. At the beginning when we first got there, we had a 3-week intensive where we like learned everything about martial arts. And in that time, we were also working with an acting coach to just really develop our characters and all of our backstories and everything. And in that time, it was super fun to build Nate's backstory. And it's my first series regular, so I've never had this much like work to do for a character for a whole series. So that was really, really fun. And I just really enjoyed, just coming up with, his whole backstory and just learning that he grew up working in Grid Battle Force since he was 6 years old, and his parents are away, doing different missions around the world. So he didn't grow up with his parents. He doesn't have any siblings. He doesn't have any family in general. And he's always worked in an adult environment since he was 6 years old. So just thinking about how that would affect someone, especially a 6-year-old, like that's all they've ever known. So just thinking about that and then learning how to like, play that in the scenes and everything was super, super fun. Also challenging, but that's what made it fun. And I have a huge family. I have, oh my gosh, so many cousins I can't even count. It feels like at every family like party or something, I'm meeting new family members. And on both sides, my dad's side and mom's side, like huge family. So I've always grown up with a whole bunch of people. So it was really interesting to just, step into Nate's shoes and, experience a life where you don't have any family at all. And you're just basically an adult since you were little, and just Grid Battle Force is all in Nate's hands. The Power Rangers, like saving Coral Harbor, is all in Nate's hands. So that must just be so much pressure for Nate. So yeah, it was really fun creating all of that and playing him. I don't know. I feel like the best of both worlds. I got to play like, all of the lab stuff. Got to be like not a Ranger first, and then transition into that. So I got that special moment in the series. And yeah, my storyline with Zoe, that was super awesome. And then I got Steel, I got a brother. So there was just so much character development that I really enjoyed working on, and then also just playing and filming. So yeah, super awesome. Love Nate Silva.
Right on.
Right. Speaking of being a 6-year-old super genius who never had parents and ended up building an evil virus that would have eventually destroyed the world, what was it like filming the 3-part crossover with the 3 Dino teams?
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. We filmed that in, I think it was around April, and we wrapped up the entire series and came back home to the US in May. So it was towards the end of filming, and by that point, we all got very used to just this routine of filming with just our cast every day. So when the returning cast came, it was like a, I don't know, like a revival, like a breath of fresh air. Like it was something different. It changed the entire dynamic. And it was just so much fun to have them. And just like after filming, like every day we'd go out to dinner, you know, we'd party together, go to each other's apartments. Like it was so much fun to have them, and just such an adventure, a blast. And some of my like favorite memories in New Zealand were during that time that the returning cast came. And it was also super cool going back to the first story about Davi helping me with my martial arts routine for my audition. It's so crazy that I ended up booking it and ended up booking the Gold Ranger just like he was. And so like that was super cool. But then also now that he like actually came back for the reunion and we got to work together, and just all of that history that we had before I even booked the show was super awesome and just epic. And just like, what are the odds? Like they could have brought back anyone, and like he was able to come back. Like that was super cool and special. So yeah, that was just an amazing time. I'm sure you guys have heard the story about me not knowing who Austin St. John is at the beginning.
Oh yeah, I think it was Rory or Jazz. It's an interview, I forgot, but yeah, he did.
I feel like Rory would be the one person to bring it up
I forgot
between him and Jazz.
I know it's either those two in an interview I heard, but yeah, I heard. So I mean, hey, you did work with the OG Gold Rangers. So how was it like with ASJ?
It was awesome. To retell that story for anyone that doesn't know, we had this dinner where we were going to meet all of the returning cast for the first time, and everyone had gotten there, and like me, Colby, Jackie, Leon, I think Christina as well, we all were like the last ones to get there. So when we got to the restaurant, everyone was like already seated, and I just went around the table, introduced myself, met everyone, and then I got like towards the end where Austin was sitting, and right next to him was like a production assistant that was there to assist the returning cast, and she was their driver. But I didn't know that, because she was new to the production. She was just hired to work with the returning cast. So I had never seen her before. So I go up to her thinking that she's like a returning cast, like thinking she's a past ranger. And so I like introduce myself, she introduces herself, and I say, and you are like, you know, like who are you like in the show? Like who are you playing? Like what past ranger are you, whatever? And then she goes, oh no, like I'm not an actor, like I'm just the cast driver, like I'm here assisting the cast. And I was like, oh, like got it, like so nice to meet you, blah 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 blah. Next to her is Austin St. John. I assumed that he was also a driver. He was there assisting the returning cast. My fault for not doing my research on who the original Red Ranger is. I, completely take full responsibility for that. And so I introduced myself. He introduces himself. Nice to meet you. And I say to him, and you are, like waiting for him to say the same thing that the cast driver said. And then he goes, I'm the original Red Ranger. And I immediately just like, my heart drops. And I'm like, oh my God, like trying to like make up for it, like high beat, like energy, like big, like, oh my God, like so nice to meet you. I'm Gold, like blah, blah, blah. And then he just like nods and like smiles. And then I like walk away to my seat, and I'm sitting next to Colby, and I tell him like, he hates me. Like I just blew it. Like my first impression, like now I have to film with him. Like how awkward. I didn't know who the original Red Ranger is for this series that I'm doing. So yeah. That was that. But then when we started filming, like he is honestly the like most amazing, like kind, genuine, loving, caring person. Like honestly, one of the best people I've ever worked with. He has so many like amazing stories that he shared with us. We went out to dinner with him. Filming with him was awesome, such a blast. And he really gave us such good advice, and just such an amazing, awesome person. So I'm happy that initial interaction didn't, ruin our relationship. But that was my story meeting Austin St. John.
I love how you actually pretty much have 3 different generations of Gold Rangers
Yeah.
in one movie
Yeah.
set. But also the fact that you were trained by Davi makes me think, I am Nate Silva, Squire of Xanthar. One of these days you gotta get a suit of armor and just like post an IG photo of that.
Right, like a Nate and Ivan crossover.
Yeah.
Ooh. What was the experience like filming your stunt choreography for an action scene?
Oh my gosh, the days that we got to do stunts were all of our favorite days, honestly. We all looked forward to it, especially because we didn't get too many days where we got to do stunts. It was all mostly just, filming our acting scenes. So the days that we did get like a fight scene were super, super exciting. And yeah, it was super, super awesome. I had to adapt to learning all of the choreography with not a lot of time in advance. A lot of times we'd get there, and while they were shooting someone else's fight scene, they were teaching someone else's their fight scene. And then once they'd finished that, they'd go to the next person and then teach the next person. So we didn't learn it a lot of time, like ahead of time. Like we honestly learned it maybe 5-10 minutes before actually filming it. And then when we did film it, we only got like 2 to 3 takes. So it was super, super quick. Also depending what the fight is, bigger ones got more time and stuff. But typically that was how it went. So super last minute, like just learn it really quick, blah, 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 like, and then you film it. So it was super fast paced. But yeah, those days were always so, so much fun. I honestly never thought I'd do stunts like that in my career, especially this early on. So getting to experience that was super, super awesome. And that alone is another reason why this job was just so special and epic. And then now having experienced that, I know that I love stunts and want to continue doing that in future roles. So yeah, lots of fun.
Do you have any fun stories behind the scenes on the set of Power Rangers?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. And of course, I can't think of one good one. But every day was just so much fun, so memorable. I don't know. I split my pants during one of the fight scenes. I remember that. I was doing like a high kick or something, and just the whole back of my pants just split open. And quickly I had to run to the costume tent, and my stunt double was wearing my extra pair. So I had to quickly take those off. They had to sew them back up super quick, put them back on, and then do it again. So yeah, that was like a funny little moment. Oh, and have you guys seen the blooper reel?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
I watched it like 4 times. It was funny as heck.
In the blooper reel, in one of the scenes where I say it's morphin' time, I mean, I only really say it, I think, twice in the show, but like that first time with Steel, my voice cracked really, really bad. And I'm like, it's morphin' time, like yelling it like full force. And I just have the biggest, like high pitch, like voice crack. And I was just like, oh, and in front of the entire crew, and everyone just like bursts out laughing, and I'm laughing too. And it was such a funny little, I don't know, fun moment with everyone. Oh, I don't know. Those little like wheelie chairs in Nate's lab, me and Jackie would get on those all the time and just wheel, like push each other or like race down Battle Force halls, or just in the lab, like everywhere we could on our downtime. We would just like roll around those all over the set. But yeah, I don't know any like other big ones. Yeah, I don't know. Lots of fun. We had fun. It was a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of which, you actually filmed one of the greatest episodes of Power Ranger history. It's great to be.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, I love that episode a lot. And you know what? I love High School Musical. I love music in general. So, okay, please tell us what it was like filming that amazing musical number.
Oh my gosh, it was a dream come true. High School Musical is such a huge staple in my life and in my childhood. Like that is really, I knew I wanted to act like out the womb. Like I knew like acting was everything I ever wanted to do in life for as long as I can remember. And then once the High School Musical movies came out and watching those, like that's what really like solidified me wanting to be an actor, and just watching that, I was like, that's what I want to do. Like, that looks like so much fun. I want to do that. So ever since watching High School Musical, it's always been a dream to do something like that. And then getting to do this was just a dream come true. One day, randomly, I get a text from Chip, and he asks if I sing or dance. And I told him I don't really sing, and I don't have a lot of like dance experience, but I can like pick it up quickly, and I'm like confident in just learning it. And he was like, okay, like didn't really hear anything about it then. And then some time passes, and then I find out, I don't know if it's when we got the scripts. I don't remember exactly when I found out that we were doing a musical, but I'm told that we're doing this musical number and it's Nate focused, and just immediately I just couldn't believe it. It was just everything to me. And so we started doing rehearsals for that, and Olivia Tennant, who plays Dr. K in RPM, is a New Zealand local, and she's also a dance choreographer, and she was hired to choreograph the musical episode. So I, of course, know her from RPM. RPM is my favorite season, and also because she is my favorite season. It was super crazy, that alone, to just get to work with Dr. K. So that was super exciting. Also, fun fact, we have the exact same birthday, which is also crazy. It's crazy, like all of it.
The parallels just don't end.
I know, like talk about like something being meant to be. Like there's so many different situations. Just the ones that I've told you guys are a few of many throughout, like just Power Rangers, that it's just like it was so meant to be. Like when something's for you, like it's for you, and like nothing or no one can take that away. And that's exactly what I feel with this. Like there was just so much that I experienced that was like, wow, like you just can't make this up, and it's not a coincidence. Like thank God, like this is such a huge blessing, and it's just so meant to be. And yeah, so I got to work with her. Super, super exciting. She's so awesome, such a cool person. I had to go in on all of my days off, and we were filming Sunday through Thursday. Friday we did ADR, and Saturday was our only days off. And for about a month straight, I was coming in every day on my day off to rehearse all the musical, the whole number and everything. And that was super fun. I don't have any dance experience at all, so that definitely was a huge challenge. And it's also like in that episode, me and Steele switched bodies. So it's also learning all of his physicality and just being super big and animated, and just really having to step out of my comfort zone to play this big robot character, but then also learn dance choreography and then the singing and everything. So it was just like a huge challenge, and it was just so much fun. So we rehearsed for a bit, filming. Oh, and in one of the rehearsals, we didn't have the finalized song yet. So we were just listening to like a sample of it, and I'm listening to it, and I don't think there were any lyrics at this point to the song yet. So I think it was just like the actual music. And I'm like listening to it, and I'm like, wait, this sounds like We're All in This Together from High School Musical 1.
I noticed that. I actually noticed that. It's great to be human.
And like what you heard in the show, like is a little more like, I don't know, like if you would have heard like what I was hearing, like just the sample, like before it was like really mixed and like finalized, like it literally was We're All in This Together from High School Musical. So I'm like listening to it, and then I'm like, I tell Liv that, and I'm like this sounds like We're All in This Together from High School Musical 1. And then we're like both listening to it, and then she's like, oh my gosh, you're right. And then I start singing the lyrics from We're All in This Together, and it just goes perfectly with it. And so I was just like mind blown. Like, come on. The fact that like High School Musical is everything to me and what made me want to start acting. And then I just all of a sudden get this musical number, and it's like, what are the odds that it's focused on my character out of everyone in the show? And then also we're the first ones ever in 27 seasons of Power Rangers to do a musical like this. So it was just like, I'm just mind blown. Like this is
and it not being an evil spell by the bad guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like something was going on, because it was just like, it was too much to believe. It was too crazy and just too perfect. And then our next rehearsal, she comes back because she had a meeting with the director for that episode. And she's telling me how the director told the composer of the song that he wanted like it to be like High School Musical vibes, like whatever. So I'm like, now, are you kidding? Also, never told anyone, not even my cast, that I was like so obsessed with High School Musical. So no one knew that I loved High School Musical like that. So out of every musical ever, what are the odds that the director tells the composer to do a song like High School Musical? So it was just insane. And then, yeah, we filmed the musical. So much fun. That day was honestly, I think, my craziest day ever on set. We were constantly going in and out of wardrobe changes, hair and makeup changes. There were, I don't even know, like easily over 50 just dance extras in the Riptide gym set. And all the lights, all the people, easily over, like with the crew too, like it had to be like over 100 people in the Riptide gym. So you can just imagine, especially everyone dancing, like just how hot it got. So when we were filming that, like those parts with me and like the gold, like sparkly jacket, after every take, people would run up to me, take my jacket off. There were like 3 people with these like portable fans fanning me down. Someone was handing me water. Like it was so intense. It was so hot, and it was a lot, but it was so much fun. And if I could relive any day of filming, it would 1000% be the musical day.
What's funny is when we reviewed that episode, I actually did a parody of the song "Fabulous" from High School Musical 2. Where I can't remember the lyrics, but like there were 2 lines where it goes, "Dead skin to style my hair, and fashion to show I have flair."
I love that.
Yeah, also add to that, like again, I love High School Musical as well. I mean, I was actually part of my high school's production of it. I mean, I still have it over here.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
Yeah, I still have it.
That's epic. That is so cool.
But yeah, like, but let's say I love your musical scene so much, and heck, and you actually dance well because I'm actually a choreographer. I used to teach dance, and your moves are actually really legit. You actually have good timing, by the way. You have really good timing. So, as a fellow dancer to you actually have great moves.
Thank you.
Speaking of teenage dramedies with careful choreography, what's it like being on the reboot? And yes, this is an appropriate use of the word reboot of Saved by the Bell.
Wow, oh my gosh. I've been saying that to every question. I always start off with wow, oh my gosh, but really that's what it is for every one of these. Saved by the Bell, another dream come true. It's so crazy. Still to this day, I can't believe that I'm a part of Power Rangers, but then also now a part of this other huge, like, nostalgic, I don't know, series that so many people grew up on. So to be a part of Saved by the Bell and that be my next project after Power Rangers is just, it's so insane, and I'm so grateful. Working on that set it's the biggest job I've ever done. It films at Universal, which is literally 10 minutes from my apartment. So waking up, every day that I filmed and getting to drive there was just, it's such a, I don't know, like it's like, and this is everything that I've ever dreamed about, everything I've ever worked so hard for my entire life. Like I'm living it, and I'm filming at Universal for this huge show with, huge people on it. And everyone that I've gotten to work with has all been so genuine, so amazing, so caring. They really made sure to make me feel included in everything and just really feel like a part of the family. And I'm not a series regular. I'm a recurring role, so I don't get to work every day, so I don't get the same interactions with everybody as the series regulars do. So I really appreciated them just really going out of their way to make sure that I felt a part of the family and just felt included, and I was with them all the time. So yeah, that was super awesome and special and just so much fun. I've always wanted to film in a high school like that and just play a high schooler. So that was, something else to check off my bucket list. And my character Spencer, I've never played a character like that before. And even going into the audition for that, I was just like, okay, I've never done this, but you know what? I'm just going to go all out. Let's do it. I'm here. I'm going to go full force, not hold back. Let's just have fun and we'll see what happens. And that's what I did. It, worked. I got the job. So just getting to play a character like that and experience, I don't know, something also so different from Nate, which I played for 9 months straight. was super, super cool. And, you know, Spencer now really is one of my most favorite characters, if not my most favorite character that I've played in my career so far. I got to work with Elizabeth Berkley, who played Jessie, various times, and she, I always say, is just one of the most genuine, like, sweet, loving, caring people I've ever met. Her son is actually a fan of Power Rangers, so we got to connect through that. I think he's like 6 or 7 years old, so we got to talk about that a lot. And yeah, it was so fun. It's an awesome show, and yeah, I'm just so grateful to be a part of it.
Yes, I actually watched all 10 episodes too in Peacock. Actually, I think
Really?
yes, and you actually really did a really good job. So congrats. I
Thank
love
you
you.
so much.
I love your character a lot.
I don't have Peacock, so I only saw the trailer, but I loved your line in the trailer where it's like, just because your dad's the mayor doesn't mean you're the main character of the universe. Or something like that.
Yes. So maybe you have 2 more questions. So
Yeah.
what's your advice to any aspiring actor or actress that want to be in the film industry or entertainment industry in general?
Regardless of, you know, if it's specifically to be an actor or just work in the film industry or whatever your dream may be, just whatever it is, I would just say to never stop chasing it, never stop, you know, just doing what you love. It takes a lot of discipline, a lot of hard work, a lot of consistency. But if you put all of that in and just your passion alone, like, that's going to make it happen. Like, you will get there. And it's never too late. Like, no matter how old you are, where you are in life, like, just keep going, keep pushing, keep working hard, following your dreams. I don't know. I just think I can't imagine doing anything else. I can't imagine doing anything that I don't love this much. So if there's something that you know that you love that keeps you going, like, that's what life is about, you know, just chasing your dreams and doing what makes you happy. And like, that's what you want to live for. Like, you don't want to settle for anything less than what you love and just what makes you happy and excited every day. So yeah, take acting classes. I think that's like the first step with anyone that's interested in acting specifically, whether that be, you know, your school theater department or taking classes outside of school. I think acting classes is definitely the first place to start, and just trying different things. I don't know, doing different activities, clubs, finding what you like, and just exploring different ways to express yourself creatively, I think is so important. And I think it's something that we as a society don't put enough importance in. I think growing up in school, you're just told to, you know, college is always the answer and you're not going to succeed if you don't go to college and get a degree. But I'm such an advocate for the arts and doing whatever you want to do creatively and not being peer pressured into going to college or thinking that you won't be successful if you don't go to college. So yeah, do whatever it is you want to do, regardless of what anyone else has to say. And yeah, just keep fighting, work hard, you know, stay consistent. I think consistency is huge. And everything is about timing. Everything. I've wanted to do this all my life. I've tried when I was younger. And you can't control when it's meant for you, no matter, you know, what you do. Like, that role is out there. Nate was meant for me, and it just happened so effortlessly. And I think that's everything in life. Don't force anything, you know, don't get discouraged. It's a very hard industry. You're going to get told no a lot more times than you're going to get told yes. But don't let that, you know, discourage you or stop you from chasing this. And yeah, it's just all about timing. Your timing is going to come. There's a role out there meant for just you, and it'll come when that time comes to be. But you also need to make sure that you put in all of the hard work to, you know, get that opportunity when it comes to you. So yeah, keep chasing your dreams.
Right on.
Are there any current or upcoming projects you would like to let the audience know about that you're going to be working on? Obviously, within the confines of your NDA agreements.
Yeah. Currently, there's nothing specifically that is coming up. Just in general, I'm auditioning, as you know, 99% of this job is auditioning. But yeah, I'm just auditioning. I'm hanging out in LA, excited to, you know, be able to do these Power Ranger conventions when that time comes to be. But other than acting, I did get into poetry last year at the beginning of quarantine and just found a passion for it. And I actually wrote my own poetry book, which I'm currently of publishing. So I'm hoping that releases sometime this year, if not sometime next year. But that is, a different project that I'm working on, and I'm super, super excited for that. And yeah, stay tuned for, updates on that.
Is there a poem you would like to share with the audience today, or do you want us all to wait till it gets published?
Yeah, let's definitely wait for it to get published. It'll be a lot more exciting then, but yeah.
All right. So guys, thank you for being patient, and we're now to fan questions. So Abe, are you ready to say hi to some fans? I'll answer the questions. All right. So first, do some greetings. So Paratimish Massacre says greetings from Mumbai, India.
Hello.
Aaron Gelbs, sorry about your name. Hi, have you ever watched an episode of Power Rangers Beast Morphers in other languages? If so, did you like your character's voice? Greetings from Argentina.
I have. I did listen to it in Spanish, actually, and the voice actor who voices Nate in Spanish has reached out to me on social media, so I definitely know who plays it, and I've also listened to it. And yeah, that's been super interesting to just listen to, especially because I speak Spanish. So I was definitely curious to see, what that was. But yeah, it's super, super awesome. I think I've heard it in other languages as well. But yeah, it's so cool and just so crazy that it's translated and shown, all across the world.
Yeah, for me, it was really weird seeing Power Rangers Samurai in both Ukrainian and Hebrew dub, because it's one of these cast members you went to high school with and you've never heard them speak any language other than English, and now all of a sudden they speak your native language so fluently.
Right.
Paratis Massacre says, have you seen any episodes or clips of the Go Busters? And also, you studied your Sentai counterpart, Masatojin.
Yeah, in the table reads sometimes they would show us clips of the Super Sentai footage, if it was just very specific or something that was going to help us further understand the scene. So we did get to watch it sometimes in the table reads, but then also we did look it up ourselves and watch some clips just at home just to get more familiar. And also we were just curious to see what that was. So yeah, we definitely were pretty familiar with it.
One thing I found very interesting is that Nate and Steel had personalities that were flipped of their Japanese counterparts.
Yeah.
Where the Gold Ranger, he's the cocky show off, while the Silver Ranger, the robot BJ Stagg, he's just nice, friendly. He just hangs out in trees drinking, Morphex from a Capri Sun pouch.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, would they do a thing where they try to make it that he would be the Gold Ranger and you the Silver Ranger, so that when you do the roll call, he just shows you and said, "Hold on, brother, I'm still doing my roll call."
I think that's so interesting and would be so much fun to play. I love playing not necessarily cocky, I would say, but just more sassy, snarky, attitude type characters. And I try to do that with Nate, which you can see in certain scenes as much as I could get away with. But it would be so much fun, I think, to be able to play Steel's role, or just what the Gold Ranger is in the Super Sentai. Yeah.
Also, I'm glad they didn't kill you off, because in the Sentai they actually killed your Sentai counterpart off. I actually watched that. Yeah.
Actually didn't know.
Technically, he was already half dead in the Japanese version, and the character we see in real life is actually a solid hologram of the character who's comatose physically.
Interesting. Thomas Franco says, Aaron Rodriguez, muchas gracias para representar la comunidad España, bro. Thanks for repping the Hispanic community.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Your Spanish is actually great. That's awesome that you were able to read that.
4 years of Spanish in high school, so.
Amazing. Well, that definitely paid off. But
yeah,
thank you so much. It's an honor to represent my community, and yeah, I hope I'm making you guys proud.
Necesito practicar mucho.
Okay, we just do this interview in Spanish.
Yes. Have you watched time for it yet?
I haven't. No, I was actually out of town when the episode aired, but I'm super excited to be able to watch it when I can. But I've been talking to the new cast. We keep in touch. Yeah, they're super, super awesome, and I'm so excited to see, what their season is.
Everett Sanchez says it's great to be human. It is.
Yes, it is.
I can eat whipped cream.
Oh yeah.
That was actually my favorite shot of the entire musical. That was so much fun, and I would like eat that off set while we weren't filming. It was so good. I would just have a can to myself and eat it.
That was literally the one line I remember most in the entire song. I can sleep, I can dream, I can eat whipped cream.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Favorite line saying that's.
Oh yeah, I love that. Those are actually some of my favorite scenes with the Megan character, who's played by Maddie, who's super, super awesome, and we keep in touch still. She's one of my favorite guest stars, I guess you can say, from the show. And just Nate and Megan's dynamic was so much fun to film, and that's exactly the type of characters that I love to play. That little kind of fighting little moments between them two, and just walking in and saying "not so fast, Megan" was just epic. Nickelodeon, it's fun, it's awesome. But
because we're all Drake and Josh fans, we have this running gag whenever we review episodes with Megan in it. We always try to do impression of Josh Peck going, "Megan."
Yeah, I love that. I think the special effects, the main special effects person for Power Rangers, Chip told me that they put me saying that line "not so fast, Megan" is their ringtone, for their phone. So whenever it rings, it's me saying "not so fast, Megan," which I thought was just super funny and cool.
Josh Johnson, you kind of answered this, but what was it like working on Saved by the Bell alongside original cast? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was super, super cool. The original cast member that I got to work with the most, like I said previously, was Elizabeth Berkley. And yeah, it was super, super awesome. Just, I don't know, I learned so much from them too. Just sitting there watching them and just how they work was super, super fascinating. And yeah, I learned so much from them, especially since obviously they've been in the industry for a lot longer than I have. I really tried to take in as much as I could working from this huge set.
Excellent. Let's see. Oh, Yosa Ademitima says, "Hey Abraham, greetings from Indonesia." Oh, you're new. Hello.
Indonesia.
Yes. One of our own, and she actually loves your character a lot. Her name is Jen. She wants to give you some heart love.
Oh, thank you so much. Hello.
Here's a good question. What would Nate's parents think if he saw he was a Ranger, since Robbie's mom and dad and Zoe's mom know their kids are the Rangers? Oh, yeah, they didn't know you were a Power Ranger. I forgot.
Yeah, I think I would have loved to see that story unfold. I think they would honestly be super, super proud and happy, of course. I also don't think it would be as big of a shocker as it was to Mayor Daniels or to Muriel Reeves, because I don't know, he's a mayor, Muriel is a news reporter. My parents travel around the world, in different missions, helping people all over the world. So I don't think it'd be too far off of what they do necessarily. Obviously, it's like being a Power Ranger and you have all these, special powers and stuff, but they're used to me growing up in Grid Battle Force. Actually, I think they would know that I'm a Power Ranger. Well, maybe not necessarily a Power Ranger, but they obviously have to know that I work in Grid Battle Force. I've been there since I've been 6 years old. So they definitely know that I created the Power Rangers and all of the weapons and stuff. But it probably wouldn't be that crazy if I made the Power Rangers and all the weapons and more effects and everything. It probably wouldn't be that big of a deal to be like, hey, guys, I turned myself into a Power Ranger to get out of the situation too. They'd probably be like, oh, cool. That's awesome. Great. But yeah, that's actually the first time that I ever thought about that. So great question. That was awesome. That had me thinking.
One thing I loved about Nate's parents is that I was able to draw a lot of parallels between Nate with Arnold from Hey Arnold, because Arnold's parents were also doing missions in third world countries and stuff, and they mysteriously disappeared, which is why they had that Hey Arnold the movie. But one thing I loved most is the episode they actually came back where Steele's like, "Hey Dad, can I have money for ice cream? I know I can't eat ice cream, but I just wanted to be able to ask that."
Oh my gosh, my cousin. The life filming your romantic scenes with Zoe.
Oh my gosh, our kissing scene, well, almost kissing scene, is definitely one of my favorite scenes that we did as well. That was so much fun. And we filmed that, like, that was a while. We filmed that for probably 5-6 hours, and we were just eating and eating and eating those noodles take after take, to the point where we were just sick of it and we would just spit it out after every take because we just couldn't swallow it anymore. But yeah, that was a super, super fun scene. And yeah, it was really fun getting to play that dynamic and just watching it unfold throughout the series, where we discover that we like each other, but we can't like act on it because it's against the rules. But then like later on being able to, you know, be a couple. So it was really, really fun to just, you know, get that character arc. And yeah, Zoe, I love Jackie. We're great friends. She was like my closest friend, you know, filming the show, and we were together all the time on and off set. So yeah, it was super fun getting to play that. And also, like, I don't know, it's such a specific dynamic that it was fun to be able to talk about it offset, and just, you know, with each scene, like, hey, like, what do you think we should do? Like, even like the smallest things, like maybe after this line you put your hand on my shoulder, or maybe we'll hold hands, or just like, you know, getting to plan all of that and just really dissect it all was super, super fun.
I'll say this, my little nephew was kind of mad because you guys didn't kiss.
A lot of us were mad.
My little nephew, he was like, "Oh my God, why?" I'm like,
I know.
I think that scene broke the internet probably.
Yeah.
because everyone wants to see it happen. We almost never get to see an actual like full contact kiss from two Rangers. I think the one instance that everyone remembers is Tommy and Kimberly. People are already upset about Calvin and Haley, and this was a perfect opportunity, and Ramen falls over. There we go. There goes the moment.
Yeah.
That would be nice to have one more moment, like in the last episode, say, yes, everything's done. I've been waiting to do this for a long time. You know, just like Neville Longbottom from the final Harry Potter movie.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, Lamorena. Leonard, hey, what's up? Hey, really enjoy your role in the show. Love the musical number. Remind me a lot of Nothing Suits Me Like a Suit from How I Met Your Mother. Oh.
I love that. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, that's funny. I haven't watched How I Met Your Mother, but thank you so much.
Let's see. Oh, so Ranger Ball. Someone's a crush on you.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And Leo, I lost my bus because I remember that.
Oh no, I wish it would have happened. Even if it was just like a peck on the cheek, would have been nice to just get something between our characters. But
or at least do an over the shoulder shot so it looks like you're kissing.
Yeah.
Or do the thing from Pokemon.
Oh yeah. What? Oh, what was it like technically being Venjik's dad? Oh yes.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I love that storyline. Yeah, super, super crazy. Like, just every time we got our new scripts for the upcoming episodes, that we never knew, like when we started the show, what the ending was, or just anything in between. We found out what was happening as we were filming the episodes. So once we finally got those episodes, those scripts for the Venjik storyline, it was insane. We were all freaking out. And yeah, it was so much fun to film. Definitely the second half of season 2 is my favorite filming wise, because of all of Nate's, you know, stories and just all the scenes that I got to do. And it was all super intense and super high stake. And I love filming stuff like that. So yeah, that was super, super awesome. It's crazy, the whole Venjik's thing and with Dr. K and stuff, but super, super epic. I mean, at the end of the day, it's Nate's fault that this is all happening. So I don't know, it's super cool to have that in the show.
And it's kind of ironic that you and Olivia have the same birthdays.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Me, Olivia Tennant, and Aaron, is it Cahill?
Cahill.
We all have the same birthday, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you finished the storyline because like when RPM was like I was like in 8th grade when RPM came out.
Yeah.
So I'm actually glad that this storyline ended. So I'm like,
yeah, super cool. Also, it's like perfectly 10 years from like RPM, so that was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
I drew that same parallel to 2 particular seasons of Kamen Rider, and what's funny is that both the first of those 2 seasons of Kamen Rider and RPM both aired on the same year, 2009, and then the first half of Beast Morphers aired on the same year as the second half of the second season from Kamen Rider, which was 2019, and they both continue the story from the first season.
Right. Yeah, that's super cool.
What is your favorite sport you play?
I don't play sports. I don't watch sports. I'd much rather watch a movie or, I don't know, the Emmys, the Oscars. That's my sport.
Actually, you do have a sport. It's called dancing.
If that's a sport, then that can be my sport.
And heck, you know, it's also considered dancing, fencing.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. Question: If Tom, oh my God, if Congress would, she wants to be the new Spider-Man. Yes.
His place. Yeah, I think that's epic. That's insane. Who wouldn't want to be Spider-Man?
I could actually see you playing Spider-Man 2099.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what that is, but that's awesome.
Yeah, you could be Miguel O'Hara. You're in the future. You got like blades coming out.
Yeah, sign me up for another superhero role. I love the stunts. I loved all of that. I would love to do it all again.
Espanol?
Sí,
hablo español. Spanish was actually my trying to get in the middle here. Spanish was actually my first language. And I still speak Spanish to my parents. And I actually learned English from Dora because I already knew Spanish. So that's a fun little moment. But yeah, I speak fluent Spanish.
Yeah, Spanish is my 3rd language, and English is my 2nd, which I learned from watching Power Rangers.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's so cool. Well, also like Dora's Nickelodeon too, so that's funny.
Let's see. We'll do 2 more guys. What was it like working with Steel, both boot robot and human? Oh, all right.
Yeah, this is a great question. Reed, who played Steel's suit actor, he was so awesome to work with. He's a really big guy. Like he has to fit into Steel's body. He's like 6 foot, I don't know, something. So when he first walked into the table read when Steel was introduced, he like sat down and like he was just so intimidating. Like I was so worried that we weren't gonna get along with him because he was, Steel, like he's gonna be filming with us for the rest of the show and in the trailer with us in the car rides and stuff. So I was super worried that we weren't gonna get along. But after once we started filming, oh my gosh, we were actually like brothers. I would call him brother. Like I would never call him Reed. We'd always call each other brother. Like, hey brother, like all the time. Super cool. We got super close. Obviously we worked a lot together. So yeah, I really enjoyed working with him. Great guy. We all got along with him great. And as far as filming with him in the suit, it was really tricky a lot of times because it's hard for him to see. So a lot of times, especially like we have a lot of those moments where we're running out of places to like, go and be Power Rangers and defeat whatever Robotron is attacking at that time. So a lot of times I would accidentally run into like his shoulder things or I'd get like hit or my glasses or just poked, or I have so many scenes where I'm hugging him and that hook that's on his chest would poke me, or it'd be like so weird to hug him. But yeah, that was definitely interesting, and it was really hard. I give it up to him too. Like that, I can't imagine. It also gets super, super hot in there. And there's times where we were filming outside in the summer in New Zealand where we would just, sweat and get hot from just wearing normal clothes. So I couldn't even imagine having to wear Steel's body and helmet and everything. So yeah, especially that goes out to the stunt doubles as well. The stunties worked so hard, and I remember all the times that I had to wear the Ranger suit, and we were just filming. We were just on set acting, standing there, and after every take, we'd have to get our jackets taken off because it was so hot. So I can't imagine having to fight and do stunts all day in the sun in the Ranger suits, especially because our season suits are leather when normally they're spandex. So
it's not spandex.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that a thing? Is it not?
Yeah, it's Dr. K's thing. He always shouts, "It's not spandex."
Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, they worked so hard, and yeah, working with Reed Steele was amazing.
So our final question actually goes to Mike here. Mike has a request.
Right. So I have this tradition of asking Ranger actors this question when they get interviewed by us. I always ask actors, what is their draft pick dream team for Ranger team? Now, since you are officially considered a 6th Ranger, that means you have to pick 5 Rangers to join your team. 1 Red Ranger, 1 Blue Ranger, 1 Yellow Ranger, 1 core green/blue, green/black Ranger, so no Tommy, no Cam, and 1 core pink/white Ranger to join your team, and none of them can be from the same season. So who's your draft pick?
Okay, this is so good because I've been asked a similar question, but it's definitely not that specific. So I always just say that my dream team up would just be all of the Gold Rangers. But I can't do that with this question. So, so obviously not another Gold Ranger because I'm a Gold Ranger.
No.
No 6 Rangers.
For green, I would 1000% say Tessa, the new Ranger from Dynasty 3. For red, I can't pick anyone from my season.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Red, I would say Will from Ninja Steel because I just met him and he's a blast. I love Will. Yellow, I would say Ciara Hanna from Megaforce because she's super awesome. Love her.
Great pick.
What am I missing? Blue
and I think
black?
it's just blue.
Or is it
just blue? I think it's just blue. You had green. Oh, blue and pink/white.
Okay. Oh. Well, pink would I have to choose Kimberly. I have to choose Joe Johnson from the original. That's epic. She's legendary. And then blue, I would say Yoshi from Dino Charge because I got to work with him. I met him. He's an awesome person. Love him. But also I thought his character in Dino Charge was just super different and super cool and just unique. So yeah, that would be my dream team up.
Awesome.
All right, so that's Abraham Rodriguez's dream team. We got Will, Yoshi, Hannah, Rao, and Kimberly.
Yeah.
Now, last request, actually from a fan.
Can you do them more for us, Abe? Oh, you're putting me on the spot.
All right, tradition.
Will you guys do it with me?
Of course.
All right, let's do it. I'll do it with you. All right.
Are you doing mine and Steele's or
Just yours.
Okay. I'll let you guys call it. You can call it.
Mike.
Ready?
Ready.
It's morphin' time.
My little gun appears. I get my key. Dun, dun. Ah! Activate Beast Power. That was awesome.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being part of the special interview, and thank you, Abe, for being our special guest. Where can you find you
guys so much? This was so much fun. Thank you guys for having me, and thank you to all of the fans for all of the questions. Yeah, thank you guys. Nate Silva, Gold Ranger, AV Baby, Abraham Rodriguez.
Awesome. And Mike, where can you find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at chrono_justice_cosplay, and you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto, and definitely be sure to follow me on IG so that you can pick what I'll be streaming on my Twitch next for PlayStation.
You can find me on Instagram, DancerBoy247. Yes, I am a choreographer. And that's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Morpher Network. And as we say, we'll do a goodbye wave. Thank you guys so much, and thank you again, Abe. Thank you again so much.
Thank you guys. Have an amazing day. Thank you.